Hey and welcome back to the channel. If you like this video or you find something interesting, do consider liking and subscribing for more tips, tricks and reviews on all things sim racing. The Clubsport DD is the mid-range wheelbase from Fanatec, which they have released to bridge the gap between the CSL DD and the podium wheelbases. In case some of the viewers weren't aware, direct drive wheelbases are widely accepted as being better platforms for sim racing compared to the belt and gear driven wheelbases available at this time. The reason for this is because direct drive wheelbases are quicker to react to what's going on in the games that we play or simulators that we drive, and also they give a higher level of detail compared to that of the belt and gear driven wheelbases. Now, I'm not going to sit here and read the manufacturer specifications to you. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, especially comparing it to the CSL DD. Because if you clicked on this video, you probably want to know if it's better than the CSL DD, if it's worth upgrading from a gear driven wheel, and maybe even if it's worth the money at this price point. The first question I'm going to answer is if this wheelbase is worth upgrading from a gear driven wheel. And it's not even a question. Straight away, yes, 100%. The reason why I say this is because this wheelbase is so much quicker than my G29 from Logitech. The force feedback feels more natural. I kind of feel like I'm driving a car. And that really is the only reason why you would buy a wheelbase in the first place. This is the whole reason why sim racing exists, is because we all want to feel like we're driving a car. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, the Clubsport DD's force feedback is pretty much immediate. You get quick, accurate information based on what the car's doing in game. You get really important information like the road texture, and it's just overall a lot more intuitive. So if you have a G29 or any other gear-driven wheel, or even a belt-driven wheel for that matter, and you want to upgrade to either the CSL DD or the Clubsport DD, well, let's put it this way. I didn't regret upgrading to the CSL DD, which is the wheelbase below this, and I wouldn't regret upgrading from the G29 to this Clubsport DD wheelbase. There's a pretty big difference in force feedback quality, but bearing in mind there's also a pretty big difference in price as well. If you're considering upgrading from the CSL DD to the Clubsport DD and want to know whether the new wheelbase is better, well, personally my answer to that question is not really.
I mean, it's alright, like, overrated as f.
To me, the Clubsport DD doesn't feel massively different to the CSL DD straight out the box. Yes, when on 4-power, the new wheelbase is stronger than its predecessor, but I personally won't be using the 4-power anyway because it's a bit of a hindrance. Now, how I see it, the major selling point of the Clubsport DD is 12 Newton meters of sustained power. Now, my understanding of sustained power is that over time, the wheel doesn't lose its ability to generate force. According to Fanatec, this is because older generation wheelbases like the CSL DD had to give up some of that power to stay cool. Now, because the Clubsport DD has a more efficient cooling solution, there's no need for the new wheelbase to give up that power just to keep it cool. Now, I can't say I felt the CSL DD lose power when I was using it, but I personally, like most of you probably, don't do extremely long endurance stints. So the selling point of sustained power probably won't benefit us too much. And on that note, I wouldn't really recommend to upgrade from the CSL DD to the Clubsport DD, especially if you have the 8 Newton meters version of the CSL DD. But wait, before you go, there are a few more things to consider when you're buying things from Fanatec, especially during this current period, which is early 2014 and especially on the back of 2023. Now, delays. You might get some delays because Fanatec are having issues with their warehouses at the moment. I personally had to wait around about an extra 3 weeks because my wheelbase was delayed about 3 or 4 times between Fanatec and UPS as well. So your initial delivery date might not be the actual date that you get the wheelbase or whatever product that you buy. If you're like me and you're mounting the Clubsport DD to the Placey Challenge, here's how to arrange the T-slots. You'll also need to unscrew and invert the metal plate on the Placey Challenge to mount the wheelbase in the way that I did. To use this wheelbase with any pre-existing QR1 wheels that you might have, you'll need to order a QR2 adapter as well. This cost me around 80 euros, but if you're ordering a new wheel from Fanatec, my understanding is that this QR2 system should come as standard. Also, if you order the QR2 Lite, this adapter will limit your wheelbase to 8 Newton meters. So as much as it's cheaper, you're not going to get the full use of your wheelbase as well, which might not be the worst thing in the world, but I don't think it's ideal. If you live in the UK and you want to know about shipping costs and anything like that, I'll leave the screenshot for you to see any additional payments that I had to make. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions at all, drop them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.